So welcome to everybody to this book launch for Presence, bringing the soul into dying and grieving, a memoir and guide. It's been quite a process, and it's gone through many reiterations, and it's been a beautiful journey, actually. So I first of all want to go in and offer a prayer and invite in our guides, our ancestors. So join with me in focusing on your breath, taking that breath deep into your belly. Letting your whole body and being soften. Opening to your natural wisdom within. Your soul presence. Your loving presence. And I invite the presence of all of my guides, my ancestors, my loved ones, who are already now swirling in the other realms. The holy angels and archangels who watch over all of souls on earth and beyond. Our mothers and our fathers, our sisters and our brothers, in whatever form they are in right now. We extend love and gratitude. And I'd like to pray in this moment for all and any souls making their transition right now. May there come upon them a gentle awareness that they have died, that they may ease into the new life that is now beginning to unfold for them. May they let go with ease their physical life. May they know that all is as it should be. May they be at peace and journey onward in openness. And I'm feeling in this moment to take up a mother chant to help all souls at this time. Anyone who is feeling anxious, uncertain, anybody who just needs to rest in the arms of the divine ocean of consciousness, who needs to rest in presence. And the chant is Ama Aima, Ama Aima. You can join in or simply absorb the chant all the way into and through your body. Ama Haima, 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 Ama Haima. Ama Aima, Ama Aima, Ama Aima. May you receive souls and bring the healing, the peace, and the natural joy of their soul into their journey on this earth or into the heavens. And I give you, Mother, this book, presence. May you spread it out into the world so that it will come into the hands and the hearts and the souls of those who most need it. And may the angels help you in that delivery service. We thank you. Amen and amen. So here's hoping that the angels will give special delivery to some of those in need. As I was contemplating like exactly what to speak about today, what was really coming forward was the necessity for each of us to consider our own death and our own dying. And what I was being shown was that in order to really be of assistance to others who may be dying in any manner of ways, I think we're all dying right now. On some level, on some, to some form of our life, to the world, to each moment, each day. And being at peace, but also being honest about the dying, about the loss, about the difficulty of that, and being okay with that. So some of you know that I have encountered death actually a number of times. She has come to me. One of them, a very shocking uh, exposure, shall I say, where I had a very jealous Italian lover lunge at me with a knife to my throat. And yet the gift of that was tremendous. And because I simply stepped from my body, watched the whole thing unfolding, my inner presence, my inner soul, my inner spirit, finding it quite intriguing. Huh, so this is how I'm going to die. How interesting. And it was really like, and here I was, 19, young, ostensibly going to die a tragic death. It wasn't tragic at all. It wasn't tragic I was young. It wasn't tragic it was going to be violent. Fortunately, as you can tell, that actually didn't happen. Unless I managed a quick resurrection, but it it really showed me that yes, it's a tragedy when we lose our loved ones. It feels tragic. But can we remove the word tragedy from death? Can we say it is painful? I will feel the loss. I will feel the emptiness. But this isn't tragic because life is going to unfold in a new way for this person. So just seeing if we can bring into our society, because whenever you read on the news, it's always like, oh, tragic death, oh, tragic this, everything is a tragedy. And so, and that, of course, wears away at us, and I feel it myself. And it's like, oh, 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 and it keeps pressing down. And I have to keep remembering that these souls will continue, that their lives will continue. And some with some beautiful experiences and learnings from what they've been through. And on their return to Earth, they bring those experiences and learnings back. Hard for us humans to sometimes understand that. And I think that we're being asked at this time for a greater maturity in our walking with our lives on this earth as well as into the dying realms. But I also have to say that when I have confronted death in other times with diagnoses, um, or with accidents, I have gone through the mourning of losing my life. And there is one piece where I actually said, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. So I think I'm just going to read this piece, and it will lead us into a meditation. It's called Who is Dying? I don't want to die. These words burst out of me when I thought I was dying. They came from a self who was sad that certain dreams in life had not come to pass. There was a feeling of having missed out on something, a void in my life, a life now coming to an end and too soon. This self wanted to hold on to my life, to live it with greater openness and joy. I thought about how much I would miss my dear friends and their beautiful smiling faces, our raucous laughter, and our open-hearted conversations. And I would miss this earth. I would miss this earth with its beauty and flowers and trees and all things green that nourish and uplift me. I would miss my sister. I cried as I thought about losing my life, all of it, gone, just like that. Yet there was also a steady presence beneath all this grief. This presence sat quietly, not intruding, not correcting, not denying. It allowed my grieving to spill all over the place. It did not try to clean it up or sanitize it. It allowed the mess of missing my life to have its say. There was a spaciousness to this presence, clear in its vision, and so very wise. It knew. It knew there was no death, not for the ultimate presence within. Yes, the smaller self and its life would dissolve into the dirt with my body, but that's okay. It would be taken up again in another time, in another form. But the smaller self does not always know or trust this. And besides, it will be a whole other unfamiliar life. Fear creeps in. Fear is natural. Every creature has a fear response to any threat to its life. And every creature has a way of being with this fear and moving back into a healthy balance of being. What a beautiful opportunity is given to us humans to know the vastness of our nature. In doing so, we can stabilize our being and return to balance, and openly greet fear and grief when they come. People tell me they are not afraid to die. They are the ones still healthy in body. The person dying knows that fear comes and goes. So I think what I would like to do is take you into the meditation that follows this piece. So if you would like to just prepare again through the breath, letting your breath fall all the way into your body. And I want you to imagine that you have already died. Your body is lying peacefully upon the earth. I want you to gaze upon your body, to gaze upon your life. That is now passed by. What feelings or thoughts come? Let them all spill out. Whatever they may be. Then breathe into your deeper presence. The presence of love, the wise presence. and open to what this presence wants to show you. Any deeper insights or knowing? No one wants to die. Not really. Maybe only those who are tortured by life one way or another. But you and me here today, we all have that voice within, the voice of our small human life, with all our thoughts and desires, our likes and dislikes, bodies and blood, extended families and friends, good times and bad. We don't want any of that to end. Well, maybe that last one could go. But below that voice lies another. The voice of eternity. This is the one who does not die. We just sometimes get the voices mixed up. So again, just focusing on your breath. Taking it deep within your body, the body that is still alive now. Giving thanks for this wondrous body and all that it does, all that it has done, and all that it continues to do in its capacity now. . giving thanks for your soul presence and its immense wisdom. Presence invites you to listen deeply from the whole of your body, not just your mind or heart. It invites you to listen from the entirety of your being. Presence asks you to feel all the way in and all the way down to what is moving through you in the moment, and to express it lovingly and truthfully. Presence is an invitation to honor your own being and every being in all forms, knowing the wonder of who you and all are. Presence reveals vastness, the universal vastness, your vastness. The whole of creation is spinning in the orbit of your tiny life. Is it possible? Yes, it is. Presence asks you to not only believe this, but to know this. Life is vast. Death is vast. Your presence is vast. Your presence is love. So, as you feel ready, gently opening your eyes. And I'd like to open it up to you if anybody feels to share anything from the meditation, from the words, anything that may have just resonated, piqued your soul interest, anything you'd like to share at all. And as I can't see you all at one time, just unmute yourself and just begin talking.
I'll go. Hey, sweetie, do you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. That was beautiful. You're so gifted with guiding meditation. um, the first thing when I looked at myself having passed, that was really powerful. I've never done that. I really felt my soul. I really felt my soul presence. And I looked at Colleen and I was like, oh my gosh, sweetie, this life you remembered you were a soul.
Can you
You
say that
re-
again? I didn't quite
oh,
hear.
you remembered you were a soul. I was looking at myself going, and you remembered this eternal love you come from. And I don't know, I just felt like I had a new love for myself. Like how far, how, losing Logan and recovering and having his passing too. What I realized, what death has brought me is also waking up to my soul
Mm.
is what I've my mom's passing suddenly, then Logan suddenly, I has woken me to soul. That's how I connect with them. I'd have to wake up to mine. And I really love how you said there's two voices. We can, and we mistake them. And I feel like my soul has been longing for me to hear. And I hadn't discerned yet what was soul and what wasn't. And this deepest love is this far now. I feel like my soul is just asking for that unconditional deepest love as and all the other stories and thoughts that the old Colleen plays are letting go, not as interesting and soul present. See, that is an incredible title, The Present. I think it's an activation. When I read the title of your book, I felt my soul present. And I
Mm.
felt it in the meditation. It just gets stronger because it's
Mm.
easy to go into just human presence, human experience. So it's
Mm.
like the energy of my soul lights. Words really, yeah, just soul presence. I think it's just a phenomenal title.
Mm. Mm.
So thank you.
Mm.
Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Oh, no. Thank you for sharing that. And for people who don't know, Logan it is Colleen's son.
Yeah, he's taught me soul presence too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely has, hasn't he? And
Yeah,
that
I didn't know I was more than that. I knew something was there, but it's really awakening. It really makes me trust all deaths, all passings anymore.
mm, mm,
Yeah, yeah.
thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and I will sort of piggyback on that I am feeling my own presence so deeply. It is just becoming deeper and deeper and deeper by
Mm.
by the day. And
Mm.
it's so steady. And yeah, it's really it's quite beautiful in my own experience in that this, every time you do this meditation, Colleen, it completely changes. It's like you have a different experience every time you look upon your body. It's really quite amazing. For me this time, I was kissing myself all over my face, just just like and and also saying, I'm so sorry that life's been so tough at times. I'm like so sorry, you poor sweetheart. and and then my soul presence just sort of overarched everything, and it was like everything is just as it should be. Everything has unfolded in the perfect way. Like there was not, it was just, yeah. And so it was just a really all-encompassing feeling. So yeah, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Kisses.
Yeah. Hey, we all need kisses, right?
It's tough sometimes. Oh yeah, lots of kisses. But that connection to soul is like that divine love is with us. That's what eases the pain and loves the pain. That's what I'm learning. My soul helps me care for my pain.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's the piece that I read out, that my soul let me have my say in missing my life. It let me grieve. It let me, it didn't try to say, no, no, no. It didn't stop me. It didn't clean it up. It didn't sanitize it, but it was just there, holding me through it all. And and sometimes in those times you don't feel the soul presence, But this is what I'm saying in the book, but she is always there, even if we feel her or not. And so, and then there are times that you do feel, oh, ah. But there are times you don't, but that's where I think Teresa of Avila really came in and she said that those sorts of times, then your mind can remind you, remember, soul presence is there, even if you can't feel it right now. Yeah, thank you. Anyone else like to share anything?
I just want to share how beautifully, I mean, your title, it also captured, grabbed me, and I said, oh, how in such alignment this book is with what is evolving for all of us right now, even
Mm,
those of us are still in body, because
mm,
we are dying. We're dying to we're dying to all the ways of being that have kept us disassociated from our soul self. And so, your book helps us to reconnect to that, but in a time where I think, well, not only think, I feel, I know for myself, I'm grateful that I can be in this moment to actually mm, be awake to my soul self. I haven't always been awoken to my soul self. She was there, but and as we were going through the meditation and, some of you talking earlier, I was reflecting on moments when I've sort of come close to death or confronting death. And what came to me vividly was my time in Puerto Rico during the Hurricane Maria. And and just not knowing, um, trusting we would survive it, my mother and I, in our bathroom, in our house. Um, but also finding myself in a very interesting way, like you were saying earlier, I kept saying, I'm not ready yet.
yeah,
I mean, I get it, but I'm not ready yet.
yeah.
I really, really pleaded. I said, I want to go back to California and see my friends. I said, I can't go yet, and it wasn't, those are but what's interesting is about the attachments to relationships. It wasn't things. I have never been identified things, but it was like, wasn't ready to let go. I just hadn't said goodbye yet, or, whatever. Anyway, I mean, I got through it, but that
Yeah.
was, and, but, and then most recently, in the last 6 months, my God, I've had more friends and people I've known die than I've had in a really long time. But I mean, like a sequence, like a constant sequence. And normally how can I say? I'm not triggered by people dying because I know they're going, they're in a better, hey, they're soaring and they're going to go on to another,
Mm,
whole nother experience that's waiting for them. And, they're in a good place. But I was mourning more. I started to feel a lot, I'm happy how you frame it about the soul lets us experience the grief as well as, the grief in the sense of the loss and the
mm,
acknowledgement of that.
mm,
And one of the things that I haven't always experienced, even in spiritual community, is allowing for that.
mm,
And so there's a sort of a new, so there's a sort of a, not like an allowing for that,
mm, mm.
and recently, like I said, this just in the last 3 months, I lost two very good friends to brain cancer. And wow, it really rocked my boat.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, and yeah, and among other losses, and I was like, wow. And I think it was, well, of course, it's the grief of the loss of the connection,
Mm,
you know.
mm,
But I allowed myself to sort of experience it, not exactly knowing how long this ride would go. And I don't know if I would, I'm not sure I'm comfortable on the ride, the grief
yeah.
train,
Yeah.
because not having a whole lot of like parameters or experiences to work with that without it taking you, either way, right? I mean, but it was just that it was really impacting me, in ways I had not really anticipated. But I was grateful for the journey, because in that journey it has brought me back to a greater awareness of the love and the joy that like standing in the love and the joy that I am beyond this body.
Yeah.
And and then part of the dying that's going on right now, of course, is the letting go of some old identities and roles and things, in family and otherwise, that have triggered other behaviors of certain kinds, but that are really not, how can I say, not based in truth. They're based in illusion and projection. So that shedding is definitely happening. As I hold on to loving myself as well, because that's a whole nother piece as well, as having been a woman on this planet and person of color in the United States. Learning how to love yourself is not I'm watching myself, almost in some ways, like at this time, being able to sort of, I did a sort of quick review of my life, and of course, what stood out in my human life was, wow, man, it's not been an easy life. But I'm grateful that my generosity of heart and my love has never died,
Yeah.
and that I have a joy of laughter that's still within me, that, so that my essence didn't die,
Yeah.
even though there was some very brutal experiences along the way. And on some level, I guess I'm just needing to look at them and integrate them, so I don't need to really, refer to them anymore. But they did happen. And part of the carrying them along is because there was never an opportunity along the way to integrate, synthesize, and release, because it was just one thing. It was just, one a constant kind of
Yeah.
battle. So
Mm.
thank you so much
Mm.
for the opportunity, and I will certainly share your book.
No, thank you.
And I also see that there's definitely a space for it in many spaces and communities and with individuals. Um, and Yeah, so I will do what I can to kind of put
Thank
it
you.
out there.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
sister, for a
Oh,
beautiful work. Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And here's to your soul presence, allowing the healing and integration of all that's still there, that's needing to be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I can die and come back, or not even come back. It's actually what I feel. It's more like it's die to the false self and awaken to the truth of my nature. It's like, okay, and that's the part.
Yeah.
So now I'm not a separate entity. I am a whole. I am wholeness, and embracing that. And it's not even that wholeness is outside of me. I am that wholeness.
Hmm.
It's just I got kind of compartmentalized
Yeah.
in an egoic system of
Yeah.
thought, thought forms. Yeah.
Yeah. Hence when we get the voices mixed up.
Of course. Yeah, yes, because yes, some have been very dominant, right? Yes, yes.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, sweetheart.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to share anything?
But I would like to share. I have my puppy that I'm sitting just was like, I need to go outside this minute. Um, okay.
We'll walk with you.
I'm listening. I'm just going to walk and talk.
Yeah,
Um,
we're coming.
yeah. Take you outside into the mountains. I First of all, I just saw a bunny run across the so that was just right when I walked out. I just wanted to, well, one, I'm just so happy to be in a group that you're facilitating, and I'm so happy to be with you celebrating again for your book launch, and that that I could just be with this group of people. I also thought it was really fascinating that it's June 11th and we have exactly 11 people here. I was just noticing, I think. Do we have 11?
Nice.
I just thought that was neat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I, a few days, because he's in Tennessee and it was just a 4-hour drive, so he came to visit me and I was telling him how had seen tons of bunnies in the yard, but I was like, I want to see a bear. I want to see a mama bear. And he was like, Mom, don't wish for something like that. I'm like, no, I'm wishing for it. I want to look her in the eye and be like, I see you, I respect you, and then back away. And and he goes, Mom, that's crazy. And I just like feel like if that's the way I went, it would be a pretty I say stuff like that and I forget that other people don't think
Yeah.
like this, like, gosh, if I went by, taken by a mother bear, that would be such a story, or such an honor, and I don't know. And I say stuff like that sometimes, and because I have an interesting relationship with death, even since I was very little, I remember my mom would say, "Oh, so and so died at church or something," and she would want me to be sad, and I think I would get frustrated, and I'd go to almost like anger or close up, like I wasn't really, I don't know, like I didn't have feelings. But even at very little, I was like, well, why are we sad about that? I just remember, even so steeped in the evangelical Christian world that I just remember thinking, y'all keep saying heaven is so great. Why are we so sad? So, but this past year and a half, I've had 3 very close friends pass away, just one after the other. And that's right after, just a few years ago, both of my fathers passing away. So I've experienced a lot of death. And I do say I'm not afraid of death. I'm more afraid of suffering. And separating those two has been really powerful for me. And then also just to let myself be afraid of the suffering, and also know, because I've been in a near-death experience with a car accident, I watched myself. I did come up out of my body and watch the whole thing, and none of that was what was scary. It's the 25 years of recovery that's been so hard, right? So it wasn't like the fear of dying. It's the fear of continual chronic pain, chronic sadness, things like that. And I love what, is it Celia?
Mhm.
I wrote this down inside, whatever you said about like like taking it in and synthesizing it and then releasing it. And I think that's been what my friends that have passed away have all been like near my age. Like one just dropped dead of a heart attack while walking their dog. One had stomach cancer, just like my grandfather when I was little, which I've been afraid of my whole life. And then, I finally kind of like got rid of that fear. And then my best friend from college, passed away from that. And I think what I've experienced with death is that I have this most wonderful, beautiful relationship with this group of people who have passed on that is very much more potent and powerful than I had with them in their body forms. And they kind of take turns sitting in my front seat of my car or wherever I am. I'm like, oh, hi. I was taking some video of the sun the other day, and I was like, oh, there you are, and I'll just think of them at such a interesting times. And I think that's the synthesizing of like all of those fears are like, oh, I'm getting communication with these the vastness of what comes after in such a different way than praying to God or anything like that. It makes me believe in so much more the way that I get these communications. And so if anything, I just think it's expanded my ability to believe in something beyond this life, which after deconstructing Christianity, Like that's been very hard for me. I even still have trouble praying to the mother. Like I don't want to pray to any entity because it's so much bigger and more powerful than I could have ever imagined. And so, I just am like, yes. So, yeah, I'm in a kind of a transition time of a death of a version of life I thought I was going to have, that never showed up. And so I'm just like very kind of had a rebirth process recently, and I feel that I have this very tender baby skin that is sort of waiting to experience this new life as I'm experiencing it right this second. And I think it's been from watching these friends pass, and then all of the most beautiful lessons that I get from them in this form has just been such a teacher for me. So
Mm,
um
beautiful.
I think that's all.
Mm.
Except for I do want to also say that when you said to imagine yourself, your body laying on the ground, I was like, okay, I hope I have a bun in my hair and they didn't do really bad things to my but then I had a hard time getting that picture, and then I did get it, and one of my friends was there kind of laying by me, and I just all I could think is I was so loved. And
Mm,
that's the first thing that
mm,
came to
mm.
mind. So
Beautiful. I
thank you so much.
Oh no, thank you. What you're saying is just so potent and so much encapsulated in the book. In fact, I want to read. I have a couple of things in response. One of them is this is the very end of the book, and it's called The Soul Land of Freedom. And it's actually a conversation between somebody on the other side who's already passed and their friend who is still here on earth. I am feeling so light. If I think of somewhere, there I am. It is so expansive. What is it like, the expanse? It is like the vast ocean in the night, endless waves of life potential, forming and changing at will by thought. Do you feel lost there in all that space? I cannot be lost, because it is who I am. It is who you are. We are like the stars in the cosmic womb, shining our love wherever we go. Does it ever end, this expanse? Love does not end. Love does not begin. We are all bornless and ever being born. When will I join you? When it is time. Remember, even the angels do not know this. Sometimes it is so hard on this earth, so much pain and sorrow, the energy dense and narrow. There are days I want to take flight. And so you can, right where you are. Come deep within. Let go into love and trust. These are your best cosmic guides. I love you. I love you too. Trust in this love to open the way. So I think that encapsulates, yeah, the journey. Thank you so much, Shelley. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyone else wish to say anything? Paula.
Yeah, Megan, your book is just so beautiful, and I've looked through it. Of course, you can't go through it in a short period of time because it takes you into other worlds, other places. But the immense feeling I get of it is an unconditional love. It just the memories that it brings up, the feelings are so eternal. It's very beautiful, and I felt soul presence in just reading it. That's without even doing the meditations. You know, that the experiences you have in life, you sometimes think, oh, you're in one moment and one time, and it's all time.
Mm.
And that's the expansiveness that I feel in the words and the messages in your book. So it just immediately made me feel in my soul presence and in that unconditional love. It's so powerful and so much peace. You can sit in your meditation and you may not feel peace. You can pray and you may not feel peace. And yet I felt it in the stories in the book, and I need to go through them slowly because they're so deep, and they remind me very much of the deep soul experiences that I've had through my life, whether it was with dying or with people close to me dying or others dying. That it's an undeniable presence, and it's as though you have walked into Kairos, and you know there's something in you that just knows and relates to that. And I just want to say that in the meditation we were just doing, looking, I've done some other meditations with you like that, and as you say, it's different every time. And I was looking upon my body and then realizing that I wasn't there anymore, and I suddenly felt shocked. And I thought, oh, and it felt very real. And then within a short period of time, there was just these presences of light that I recognized as angelic forms. And I found the smile going onto my face and a deep peace. And it's giving me, shivers now as I talk about it, and a recognition of course, of course. And that really, my thought was, so is life the dream, you know? And it was just like, it was the real thing was of course, why would I be afraid? Why? But it's a very human thing to be afraid. And it's that sleeping and waking and sleeping and waking. And I think that's what we experience in this realm that you say, it's a heavy realm. It's a difficult realm. It's so much that it's also a great teacher. But thank you, Megan. It's just the most beautiful, deep, soulful book. And I really look forward to sharing it because I think it's of so much benefit. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Paula. And what a beautiful experience.
Mm.
Because with that meditation and the shock, because that is exactly what a lot of souls feel when they die.
Mm. Mm.
Even when they know they're dying, even if they've been dying for a year,
Mm.
some of them don't know they've died, and then the shock when they have.
Mm.
So, and I loved yours. Oh, of course. But not all souls get that, that to start with, they can get the shock and then the bewilderment
Mm.
and then the confusion. And so that's when my role as the psychopomp helping them on the other side comes in. That's a lot of what my work does is then orients them into
Mm.
where they are now without the body. And you know how dense the body is, and it gives
Mm.
gravitas. So without that, it's shocking. It's like, well, who are you now? So
Mm.
yeah, so that Really, that's a beautiful experience. And then you said, I love it. Oh, maybe life is the dream.
Mm.
This life. It's like,
Yeah,
yes. Because
yeah.
isn't that we live it so much in like a dream. It's not the real story. So, oh, that's I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's just yeah, makes it all worthwhile. When I hear things like this, it's like, oh, this is beautiful. So thank you. Mm, gorgeous. Mm. Anybody else? Okay. All right, beloveds.
What did you say? Love and trust are the best
Guides.
cosmic guides.
Guides. Yeah. Yeah.
I did also want to just say that as you were giving that meditation, I just went back through, especially to both of my dads, but my dad that had throat cancer. It was such a long, drawn out, painful death. And something that you said about, you know, the ease, that there's ease on the other side of this because we just kept letting him know that it was fine to go and and my mom and my sister couldn't be there with him. They couldn't handle it. And he's my stepdad. But so somehow I got to be the death doula for him, which healed a lot of our relationship. But I just went back to that moment and sort of retroactively brought the piece that you were bringing in the meditation to him and was like, here's what this can feel like. Because I could feel the ease and you could tell he was like fighting the physical form to stay in the physical form. And so I just went back and sort of handed them this moment, and that was really,
Mm.
because time isn't real. So I just went and hopped over there and handed that to them. So thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. And I have to tell you this story based on this that I had a client call me and her brother was dying. He'd been an addict. He was severely agitated. And she said to me, she was desperate. She was like, I don't know what to do. And like, he is so distressed. He is so agitated and I don't know what to do. So there is a particular chant to an archangel to bring in comfort that we entered into for him. And soon thereafter, he calmed and he calmed right down. And we also enveloped him in the love, and this comfort was also restoring and healing that which needed tending to. And it didn't take very long. And she said soon thereafter, he just came into complete calm and peace. And then he died. So there are very specific prayers and chants we can do to bring this energy in for those who are struggling. And yes, because some deaths are not easy. Some deaths are not easy physically or emotionally for folks. So um, I'm going to do a little advertising plug now.
So, so, so wait a minute. So are those chants in either of your books? The
Uh,
for calming agitation, because I've experienced that too with a dying person.
Yeah. So, yes, one of them is in the Presence book. Um,
Okay.
here's the advertising on June the on June the 24th at the Sophia Institute. That's in South Carolina, but it's a virtual masterclass. I will actually be leading and teaching this chant and teaching people how to be with those who are agitated, and speaking much more deeply to presence and taking us very deeply into our own presence and what is needed right now for each one of us, and then how we can help convey that to others for their own presence. So I'll be speaking on things that I did with my mom and with this particular fellow, and also bringing in that ease of the Divine Mother consciousness as well. So, yeah, it is. It is. So, yes, it is the angel of comfort in the book. In presence, you will find that. In the dying and to love, you will find the prayer only. But of course, in the book, you don't get to hear the chant or to fully embody it. So if you do want to come on the 24th, sign up before the 20th because there's an early bird discount. Yeah, it's called death agitation, and it is very common. Very common. So having a little toolkit in that way is really, really helpful. And this particular chant comes from a long lineage that we can trace back to the 17th century. So I think we're drawing in a lot of energy from ancient elders who really knew what they were doing, is what I would say to that. So you do death doula work, Sushila? Precious, precious work.
Yeah. Mostly in education, but I have clients now and then and attended deaths and
Yeah.
or facilitated the process. And we do home funerals too.
Right. Yeah.
So the rituals after.
Yeah. 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 Beautiful. Well, I'm glad that the education piece, that's really needed, to just bring that out. And I hope more and more will bring in death doulas in those last phases. Yeah. Beautiful. So, I think anybody else before we wrap up here?
Megan, I just have a question about the class you're doing. Is the link that you gave us, because I didn't open that one because unfortunately I'm going to be in Puerto Rico that time. I won't be able to participate, but I was thinking I could share with some people who I know work like here. It's the Hospice of Santa Cruz. I know someone who's one of the chaplains.
Okay, I'll
And
send you
send,
the
send me something. Yeah, because I think,
I'll send it out to everybody.
yeah, that would be helpful, as well as, I'll send, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, I think Paula's signed up, aren't you, Paula? Yeah, I think so. Yes. So, all right, lovelies. There's so many more stories I could tell you. Oh. But I'll refrain. I'll chain my Celtic storyteller up.
You have to make us want to buy the book.
Right. Otherwise we'll be here all night, but yeah, what can I say? It's just buy the book. And send the links out to your friends, and spread the word. That's because that's not my genre. Oh, thank you to, and I'm just getting a message here from Donna. So in the chat, thank you, Donna. All right, so I think we will leave it there. Um, yeah, yeah. More stories to come in time, but there's so many beautiful stories. If you want to jump on my website too, and have a look at the blog. There's a couple of lovely stories there about my doing the audiobook and my mum, and the passing of her brother was really phenomenal synchronicity. So jump on there, and there's some there, as well as more to come. And I'll send out, the other night I had a great conversation with a woman from Scotland who is reclaiming keening in ways of creativity. So she does it through sound, but she also does it through making dolls and different art pieces in the land. And so we spoke. She lost her mother not so long ago, so it's a very intimate conversation about our journey with our mothers, but also she speaks a lot to Keening. So I'll be sending that out, or that's on the YouTube actually at the moment. So more to come, much more, much richness there. So thank you everybody for being here. I so appreciate it. And thank you to everybody who's watching this on the recording. Appreciate you too, and wishing you all much, much love and much soul presence. Oh, there's Ellen. Hello, Ellen. Can you, I'm going to try and unmute you, Ellen. Yeah, let's see. Can we unmute you? There we are. Hello.
I'm on my phone. It's very clunky what I can do on it. But yes, I wanted to say hi before you all disappeared. And I so appreciated the beautiful sharings, and what a pleasure to be in the company of folks who have this depth and this openness and this connection with the vast. Thank you so much for articulating it so beautifully.
Well, was delighted when I saw your name come up, because I'll let everybody know, if there's anybody I want to be by my side when I die, it's this beloved woman here. She's been by my side in some times of difficulty. I will always remember Ellen. I think I just had to get the endoscopy. This was the time Ellen would come with me when I'd have medical stuff. And there was an endoscopy I think I was having or something, and I was just crying because it was before. It's just an endoscopy, but it was bringing out old things within me that needed healing. And Alan was there with me. There might have been, I don't know if Celia was there, someone else maybe, but the young doctor walks in and he said to me, "Oh, look, there's no need to cry." And all of us turned to him and said, Don't you dare say that. Let her cry. She needs to cry." And he went, "Whoa, okay, all right." I'll always remember it. It was like, no, no, you young doctor, you do not get to tell us we can or cannot cry. So, yes, you held my hand in many instances. So you represented the mother to me in so many ways of that love. And still, I'm going, please let Alan live until I die so she can come and be with me.
Well, maybe it's a mutual feeling, so we'll see how it goes.
Which way? Well, we could go together.
Maybe we can coordinate on that.
Yes. All right, my lovelies. Thank you again, and look forward to seeing you whenever and wherever. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Ellen.